The reason why today was so bullish for BNGO was because the shorts tried everything. Now, we thought they had tried pretty much everything yesterday. Literally, I thought they had, they were going to start, maybe lightening up a little bit. Today, they increased their position and they sold another 8 million shares short, right? Yesterday it was like 52 million or 54, 53. I think it was 52. And now it's 61 million, right? You're looking at a 6% increase on the day, 22% of the float. Now, it's so bullish today because they failed in what they were trying to do. We all know what the shorts are trying to do, okay? They want this shit to go to zero. That's as simple as it gets. Now, what did they get? They did not even test $7 a share, my friends. The lowest we hit on the day was $7.10. And that is with high growth going down. That is with the markets going down, or at least the NASDAQ is, and the Russell's essentially even, okay? Even with 6% increase on the day in the short interest, according to Ortex data, they get their data from about 85% of exchanges. The shorts are barely able to make it a freaking red day. We're only down, what, 3%? Not even 3% on the day? Guys, you have to take into consideration what the chart and what the price action has been these last few weeks and months. We're up from 430. We're up like 70% from there. Okay, it's not like we're at the freaking lows. It's not like we're in a freaking downtrend right now, right? No, we're still. Technically today we're going to get into what the technicals are saying as far as uptrend or downtrend. But by and large, we made a higher high and we've been making the higher lows, right? We have. Okay, look, this low today was higher than the previous one over here. Okay, simple as it gets. Now, the shorts have tried and they have failed. What does this mean for later? I want to talk about the cost to borrow average and how long these guys can actually do it, and if it's in our favor or the bears' favor as far as long term, because of some of this stuff right here, right? Doesn't take easy to figure out. I'm sure some of you probably know what I'm talking about. I am also going to go over the thread today, going over the presentation on the cancer and OGM and cancer research, and the headcount growth that was, and some thoughts on that, and some relatively new hires. Also, the average stock market return. I want to go over August, September, the months we're heading into, and July. All these, I want to go over what the hell's going on there. Should you be worried about the market crash? Right, we're heading into, we're getting close to the two worst months in the stock market, right? Is that something you should be worried at? And of course, my BNGO position and the technical analysis, and if we're in bullish or bearish territory after a close below the 21 SMA. So let's start off with the short interest data and what I think the bears' next moves are, and how realistically, when is the short squeeze, if ever, going to happen? Let's assume that quarter two earnings is pretty good, right? Let's assume it comes out mid-August and it is 4 to 4.3 million, like I'm projecting, right? I think it's extremely likely that is what the actual revenue turns out to be. Let's say that is what happens. Let's also say that the short interest is above 15%, right? Right now it's 20%. Let's assume that we're still going to have, something like that. If we have that, we're going to see $10 a share. I'm very confident that we'll see $10 a share in August, right? In mid-August, August 12th is the date that some sites are saying that earnings is going to be. There's not an official date, but that is when I think the squeeze could start. The squeeze, right? We don't need a squeeze. A squeeze is not super likely, but if we had a big event like that and the short interest was very high, we would have some sort of squeeze. Yes, we would have shorts trying to cover as quickly as they can, creating a domino effect, sending the stock price very high. And this is, that's as simple as it gets. Also, we have a batch of options, the option chain. Options expire on the 20th of August, so maybe we could get a little bit of gamma squeeze action going as well. That would be pretty sweet. Maybe both short squeeze and gamma squeeze. Okay, just some speculation for you, but that is a possibility, and I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure. Please don't. Whatever, make your own opinions. But this is what we're looking at. 61 million estimated short interest, 22% of the free float currently sold short. Now you cover the cost to borrow average, and the fact that the long term is the momentum and the advantage is for the bulls in a huge way. It already was, right? Because having a company like Bionano Genomics, which is future growth, genomic sector, the tech, the potential, the future Illumina, future Pat Bio, right? A lot of people believe in this thing. Being a short intrinsically, based on those facts on a company like this, doesn't seem that smart long term. Add in the fact that you're paying 18% annually as a short borrow fee rate, and if you're and the risk with if nanonozzle comes out, if revenue is like we think it is, it doesn't really make sense to be a long-term bear. Now, if these guys are, let's assume the worst, right? Let's assume all these people are long-term bears. They're going to get the squeeze is going to be even more aggressive, right? We're going to the stock price may suffer short-term if more of these guys are ignorant and long-term bears, but it's just going to result in a more aggressive squeeze in August, assuming the Q2 revenue is good, which is, I think, a very high likelihood, but I could be wrong, right? Do your own research. The fact of the matter is, though, the bulls have the advantage long-term, right? It doesn't cost anything to hold shares. It takes a lot to hold short shares, right? If you're taking shares that have been sold short and then lent out from the broker to you, it's just not as easy. It's not as easy to do, right? You have to pay more for it. You have to incur more risk, and you have to bet against a company that has a moral cause, and you have to team up with the manipulators, right? It's like what's in it for me? Why would I want to do this? You don't want to do it. Okay, the people who are doing this, okay, there's no hope for them. That's why no one will remember their name, right? But anyways, that is so to sum it up, right? The bears tried everything they could today to push the price down. They failed miserably, okay? I mean, we're down 2%. They pushed the price down, right? But relatively, right, with the 8 million short shares, 7 million, that they did a horrible job, okay? We didn't even touch 7, okay? So that's as simple as it gets. We actually formed a hammer candle on the daily, which is a bullish candlestick pattern. It's as simple as it gets, my friends. So these guys are screwed long term, especially quarters. I mean, not even long term, right? 40 days. 40 days is essentially when the earnings is likely going to come out, and that is good. That's, you know, of course, there could be catalysts coming out anytime sending us, you know, starting the squeeze. Or we could wait till earnings. Earnings could be bad, and there could be nothing, and we could get delisted. Or, you know, the more likely scenario, Q2 earnings is very good. That's when these guys start covering. That's when the price starts seeing $10, $12. And if we saw like a 5 million revenue, okay, hell, we could see above $10 even. So that's what I'll say for the short interest. Also, the webinar today, right? So the presentation today, basically, there's nothing big here. If we go over the thread, there's nothing really big, right? DNA replication is one of the most important things. Cancer, okay. We already know optical genome mapping. It can help with this because it does those complex cancer genome structural variations, right? All classes of those in cancer. This is the biggest tweet right here. All right, we can identify rearrangements in concordance with standard of care, right? And remember, not only are we concordant with them, and not only can we do everything that they can do, but we are also cheaper. We have a higher throughput. We're gonna have a much higher throughput after the Savr 2.0 comes out, by the way, and we have we're cost effective, less hands-on time, faster turnaround time, more detection, more accurate, less false positives, more sensitivity, right? Yada yada. You know the spiel. Savr is better in every case, and this is just more academic praise to prove this stuff. So it's great to see. Okay, so total headcount growth, you're looking at 33%, and this is just, okay, and now this is 6 months, right? And we only have right now, according to this, only have 160 employees, right? I would like this to increase a lot over the next few days. And remember, Lineagen, this is not including Lineagen, right? Lineagen, that's a subsidiary of ours. When, you know, if you include Lineagen, this would be much higher. But the fact of the matter is, we're hiring, if we go to the jobs tab right here, we are hiring a ton. We're trying to hire a lot of people. Okay, now what are the hiring suggests? It suggests that we're trying to get more Sapphire commitments, and we're trying to get them to sell more. We're trying to increase the revenue through sales. That's what most of these things indicate. Also, we've got a couple of nanonozzle things and a couple of new production things, such as the bioinformatics scientist, if I can find that one. Right here, right, design, implement, and validate novel tools for variant analysis, right? Have experience with next-generation sequencing, right? This kind of stuff is the thing. These are the things that get you excited for nanonozzle, and this was 5 days ago, remember. Obviously, you've got as well 5 C-suite members being added in just the last, not in just the last like week or something. I wish we knew exactly, okay? But 5 recent senior management hires, including Richard Shippey and 4 others. Okay, this is good. This is good to see, and this is proof. I mean, we already knew this stuff, but I just wanted to point the fact out that it's just business expansion proof, and we all know it's happening. Okay, you don't increase your headcount by 33% unless you're planning on doing more stuff, right? So at the very least, they're doing more work, and most likely more Sapphire sales, more manufacturing. Not necessarily more manufacturing, I guess maybe, but more clinical study, working on that stuff, getting the 5 large clinical studies in order to gather evidence for FDA approval, maybe more hirings with nanonozzle and not nanonozzle, but with next generation sequencing experience for the production of the nanochannel nanopore device, sequencing device, otherwise known as nanonozzle, right? So, these are good things, and these are things that should get you excited about the future. All right, so average stock market returns. So we're heading into July. It's one of the worst. It's about middle of the pack as far as performance on average in the S&P from 1980 to 2018. But then we have August and September. And you guys know August is going to be really interesting because that is when we're expecting Bionano's Q2 earnings to be. And then we get into September, and it's just death. Okay, September is a month that is death for the market on average, right? That doesn't mean it's going to be hell. It could be the best month of the market this year, right? It's always different, but on average, it's not that good. So I wanted everybody to be aware of this. You know, do what you got to do based on that information. All right. Now I want to maximize the chart and go over some technicals here. Now, I'm not trying to freak you out, but I have to call it both ways, right? I mean, calling it both ways, you have to. Okay, if you don't call both ways, you're not a very fair person. So 21 SMA, we closed below this. Now, we did close below this one time before. Remember, we closed below this right here, and I was telling everybody, you know, maybe this is the start of a bear trend. I held all my shares, and we obviously went way up to 820. We tested 820 again. Then we got rejected, and we've had a sharp descending resistance here. Now we have a hammer candle formed, but we are closing. We did close the day below the 21 SMA, and I want to pull up the moving averages here because basically you can see in the past we have held the 21 EMA all throughout this uptrend since we have broken this cup and handle, or this handle, the handle part of the cup and handle right there, and then we hit the price target. We closed above that today. We closed above 725, and we've had several wicks down and testing it. And in the recent past, we've obviously seen more upside. Okay, does that mean we're going to bounce off it for sure now? No, not necessarily, but I just want to say we did close above that, and that's kind of one of the last things, you know, one of the last crucial levels of support that we need to hold if we're going to stay in uptrend territory. And we definitely held it today, and we have not closed below this once since the start of the uptrend, and we closed above it today. So that is good to see. Also, I want to talk about the 100-day simple moving average, right? So this has acted as a nice resistance level for a while. I would love to see a freaking close above this. We've only seen 2 closes above this in the recent past. I would really like if we could actually get a couple of closes above this, and that is going to be sitting at 780, right? So our goal, just think of it this way, closing above 8, very bullish, and you want to stay above 8. What we really need to do is make 8 the new floor, right? Bull case, markets go up, high growth gives us a chance. Stay above 8. That is the goal. Daily super trend, you're getting conflicting indicators, right? In the 4-hourly, you're still bullish actually in the 4-hourly super trend, right? So you're getting conflicting indicators there completely. Also, the 4-hourly 200-day exponential moving average, right? You held above that, and that is a potential buy point, right? So that's going to be sitting at around, right around $7 flat. That's probably going to be at about 706, 707, maybe 710 maximum tomorrow. That's a potential buy point as well. Now, I also want to look at the daily stochastic indicator, right? So if we pull this up, we are in bullish territory right now, but this thing has just been way off. So I actually want to look at the 4-hourly so we can actually get some more valuable information. All right, we're literally oversold. This thing, now the daily has, for some reason, the daily stochastic indicator has been stupid. And, you buy signal, it had a decent buy signal for a little bit, and since then it's been way off, and it was way off here. But before that, this daily stochastic indicator was way, it was really accurate. But nowadays it looks like the 4-hourly, that's what's been more accurate in the short term. And where are we? We're in buy territory. Okay, you are essentially you're oversold. Okay, you're below 20 on both the K and the D lines, meaning, and you're about to get the bullish cross. Actually, okay, yeah, you're literally like you're like this close from getting the bullish cross right there, and you're in oversold territory. That is a buy signal on the 4-hourly. Now, you may wonder, Brandon, how accurate is this indicator? Well, last time it was right. Time before that it was right. Time before that it was right. And we're not talking about like 10% days, 10% gains after you buy here, but typically it goes up a few percentage points. 50 cents, sometimes $1, right? It went from 690 to, 820 right here. And, it timed that one perfectly almost. So maybe that's a swing trade opportunity right there. Maybe it's a long-term adding and getting your cost average down. Okay, make your own decisions, please. These indicators can always be wrong. But with that being said, I'm going to show you the portfolio and then we're going to get out of here. Okay, so essentially 100% Bionano. AMC is the other trade that we're in. And with that being said, thank you all so much. This is not financial advice. BNGO to the moon, baby. I'll see you all in the next one.